Today we're going to be making one of my all-time favorite recipes. It's super simple. It's a Cajun chicken protein bowl. You can make this for lunch, you can make it ahead of time, you can meal prep, and you can also make this for dinner. So let's jump right into it. The first thing we're going to do is wash and prep our chicken. I cut mine up into 1-inch pieces, and I'm going to actually set that aside because we are going to let it sit in a nice seasoning. So for this recipe, I'm going to be using a Cajun seasoning. To make your own, it's really simple. You use paprika. I prefer smoked paprika. I think it has a wonderful flavor to it. Kosher salt, garlic powder, black pepper, and onion powder, dried oregano, cayenne, and thyme. I also like to use a little bit of chipotle in mine, but I will put the recipe down below for you guys to make your own, or you can purchase it at any of your local grocery stores. The one I'm using today is actually from Whole Foods. It's great and it's super delicious. Since our kids will be enjoying the same meal that we will, I'm going to actually start this by cooking their chicken first. Obviously, they're not going to want a spicy seasoning, so I'm going to let ours just sit here and marinate for about 10 minutes while the kids' chicken is cooking. While that's cooking, let's go ahead and start to prep all of our natural ingredients. I have everything laid out for me to just get all prepped so I can cook it easily. We're going to start by shredding the corn. Next, we're gonna go ahead and chop up the asparagus. I'm just gonna roughly chop this. We're gonna be sauteing it down so it's gonna get nice and mushy, and then I'm gonna chop up the broccolini. These are items that I'm hoping the kids will eat, but they may not. The other thing I wanna do is add some bell pepper to this recipe just to kind of give it that nice brightness. I love bell pepper, it's nice and crunchy. We are gonna saute each of these individually in one pan so that we don't dirty a bunch of dishes, but I'm not gonna put them all together because some of these I'm gonna put on the kids' plate and some I'm gonna add to our salad. But here's everything chopped up and ready to go. While the kids' chicken is finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and wash and de-stem our Dino Kale. I find that the spine or the stem here in the Dino Kale tends to be a little bit bitter. Same thing with Swiss chard or anything like that. I will always remove that part and then roughly chop that up. In a separate pan, we're going to start cooking all of our vegetables. I've added the chicken for my husband and I into the pan, and we're going to get that cooking. It'll probably take about 10 minutes. I have it on a medium heat. First thing I'm going to do is cook up the corn. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to this. Once it's done, we'll set that aside, and then we'll keep cooking all of the other things. The next to go in will be our broccolini and our asparagus. I'm going to cook these down together because I plan on putting that on the kids' plate, but again, we'll see. I also added some butter there. Here are all the items. I have chicken for the kids, chicken for my husband and I, some tomatoes, corn, feta, that beautiful sauteed bowl of vegetables. I also have some black beans, those peppers, and then some green onions. I'll be using avocado, some kale, and cilantro for our salads. I'll be going with this brand. It's Toby's Jalapeno Ranch. I picked it up at Whole Foods, and then the kids will get classic ranch. I'm going to assemble the salads for my husband and I with just putting a nice bed of that fresh kale at the bottom, and then around the bowl I'll be adding each of the ingredients. I'll be doing our traditional Cajun chicken, some of that fresh delicious corn. I'll be adding some gorgeous peppers in here. I'll be adding some tomatoes. I like the juice from the tomatoes, are so good. We'll be adding some fresh vegetables, some black beans, a little bit of feta, and then we'll be adding our avocados to the center and then drizzle over some of that delicious dressing. I will have this recipe linked down below, and I will also be including a homemade jalapeno ranch recipe as well. I'll be garnishing this with some green onions and cilantro and just a kiss of cayenne pepper. Enjoy!